So, how black tea is prepared? It's picked, and then it's air dried a little while over some, well, also under fans, and then it goes onto sort of some rollers, and then into an oven. And this is basically encouraging the fermentation. I think it's about somewhere between 70 and 100 degrees in a rolling oven.
Yeah.
And this is, not roasting it, sort of, heating it up, letting the fermentation really happen.
Like a peak fermentation, really.
Yeah, and so that's the difference. The main difference between black and green tea is that black tea has been, really fermented. There are then a few subtle differences amongst black teas. Most of the black tea is from, is from India. And then there are some regional specialties. The north of India, Assam and Darjeeling, are famous for their sort of flushes, the first flushes. And in the south, where I went, they're not famous, or they are famous for making lots of standard tea. Which is what I was looking for, in fact. This is the tea that I use for standard tea, for black tea. And this one is the finest grade I could get. And it's also from the winter. Which is the special time. So in the north, I mentioned you have these first flushes. Those are from the first production of the year. Because in the north they cannot produce tea during the winter because it freezes and it stops the production. So the very first time that they can pick the tea is the first flush, and that's the best tea. It's basically the most delicate, the smallest leaves with the most amount of sort of flavour, not the strongest, but the most delicate. And from the south, this also has an effect, because this is also from the winter. The tea is growing less because of the cold. So it's similar to those first flushes, but it doesn't have that same reputation. But it has, it's more delicate and does have this stronger, more unique, delicate flavour. Mm-hmm. So I was very lucky to be there in the winter and get this. It's very good tea.
Yeah, it's excellent.
So,
nice tea.
So, to explain a little bit about tea, I'm going to show you the difference between what you get as a whole orange pekoe, whole leaf tea, and what you get in a tea bag. Basically, that process of rolling I told you about, they then put it down on a conveyor belt and down into a big silo thing, and the fullest leaves rise to the top. And as you go down, you get half leaves and broken leaves, and then you get then they have different grades of powder. And powder is what goes into most tea bags. Cool. So, now we can try the strong black tea for reference. And I can give you a little tip. Let's see. If you have a really good quality tea that's also been well prepared and well processed, a tip to try it is to see if it's cloudy and if it's clear. And a way to test that is if you can read text, small text, through it. And okay, so this tea bag is actually it's actually quite good quality. I can read text just about through the tea.
Excellent.
So some of them are good. That gives us some faith in tea bags, but in general I stay away from tea bags. Or actually I stay away from tea bags.
So basically now we're just going into the park at the back of Gas Canteen.
Yep.
And we're going to check what we can find. We're just going to go back to Urban Cavemen.
Yeah.
And graze off the land.
Well, we're going to a great bit because the western part is wild. They don't put fertilizers or any sprays down. So everything here is safe to consume. And it's a really good example of, just being able to find anything. We're going to go straight here, and we will... The problem is it's late in the year, but we can still find things. Go! Well, first of all, there's nettle. Everyone knows you can use this. It's always best to use the young ones, especially this time of year. And you can also make teas with nettle. It doesn't have to be soups, but you usually need to balance it with something sweet. Here we have two, right in a row. Well, maybe it's not a typical tea ingredient, but this is marjoram, or North European oregano. This is good if you've got, it's an anti-inflammatory, and it's good for your blood. And here is a great tea.
Okay, and right now it's like grayish. What kind of color does it have when it's like totally blooming?
Here's the young one, and when it's in bloom, it's a soft purpley pink color.
Soft purpley pink.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But checking, guys.
This is about full grown?
Yeah, this is late in the season, so when it's starting to die out and the leaves are a bit big. But here's an example of a young one that you can also use.
Right.
But this is better in cooking, but you can use it in teas if you want its properties, which are good for blood and anti-inflammatory.
Okay, excellent.
And right next to it we have one of my favourites. This is horsetail, the same translation in Dutch. This is a very strange plant. It's like a fossil of old times. Gardeners actually absolutely hate this, because once you get it in your garden, it's almost impossible to get out.
It looks nice and fluffy, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see why you hate it in the garden.
No, this is like a superfood. It's absolutely full of vitamins and minerals, and it's one of the very few sources of silicone, which is good for the body, and it's very hard to get it. So this is a natural source of it. I read about this.
Do you take the whole plant, or just chop off a piece, or just the
leaves?
Just
and the leaves are nice and stringy, and they come straight off.
Okay,
They're like
cool.
these little tubes.
Cool.
You can chew it, but it's best with the tea. It's a bit rubbery. And this is good for everything. Apparently it's anti-aging, it's even anti-cancer, so apparently it's good for your immune system, it's antioxidant. It's really, really amazing. However, there is one reason why this is not sold in your pharmacies and you don't hear about it, because it contains nicotine. Not much, but it still contains it. Therefore, if you want to sell it, you have to have health warnings on it. But it's really a really powerful herb.
Right, but like if you want to quit smoking, it will be an excellent substitute.
Yeah, because it's a very mild amount of nicotine. And yes, if you started drinking
Good
this
to know.
3 cups a day, you might get addicted to it. And here we have
Life is just a mix of addictions anyway. You know.
another plant. I don't even need to walk anywhere. Huh? This is one of my favourites. This is mugwort, or bijvoet in Dutch.
This is mugwort.
This is mugwort. This is an older species.
This
it's coming
is
into flower.
This is the absinthe ingredient.
Related to the absinthe ingredient, this is Artemisia something. And it's the absinthe is an Artemisia as well.
Yeah. So it's family, but it's not
Yeah.
the one particularly used for absinthe.
Yes, but it can be used. So actually, you can drink this before bed, and apparently, or I can agree it does, it helps you dream, or it helps you achieve lucid dreaming. But again, this is also a funny tea. It's a blood thinner, which can be good for some people, and for others it can also be slightly dangerous. Pregnant women, for example, should avoid this.
Okay, and while we're filming Paul, we come across this little setup. It's a small rocket stove. It's basically, you get the fire chamber there, and then you get a wide double pipe insulated chimney, and on top of the chimney is a big ass wok. With what I think is potatoes being fried in there. And you can just check out that heat. You never get that straight on a regular stove, you know. So you get a lot more concentrated heat with a lot less use of wood. And as you can see, there's absolutely no smoke whatsoever. So the wood and the heated gas of the wood gets totally combusted in there. Absolutely brilliant. And quite a simple setup, as you can see. You can do this anywhere, anytime. And these people are preparing for tonight, because Tuesday nights is African cuisine at the Cass Canteen. So if you feel like different flavors, check it out.
You want to come straight on?
Yeah, sure. So this is the aquaponics system?
Yeah. So we are very lucky to have our own aquaponics system. But it's an example of what you can grow your own. And everything that we've got growing here, you can grow at home. Some of them just need a bit more sun than others. So if you've got a sunny window in the inside, it's also cool. These are the herbs that we use in the kitchen. And then a few of these I also use for teas. Berries, you can also use for teas. Most of them are over here. So I should say something about aquaponics system briefly. Aquaponics system is something with fish. We've got fish in this tank, and then this tank acts as a filter, and then basically the fish poop goes up and feeds the plants, and the plant nutrients wash down and make a really healthy water for the fish. It's almost a closed system. We just need to add a bit extra protein for the fish.
Right, so you just add a little bit of fish food.
Yeah. And it makes it
But
really,
they get their organic food from the plants.
Yeah, it makes
Excellent.
a really ideal growing environment. Some things are very green. The brown bits and the short bits I've just cut back recently. That's the mint, and that will grow back again. Up here, this is one of the ones I use in tea. This is lemongrass. This I bought from the Chinese supermarket. Cut the ends off, allowed some roots to grow in water, and planted it. This has been a real great one.
So there's actually a lot of stuff out there that you buy once and then get it to shoot and keep indefinitely. Like
a lot of the basil we've got here is the basil you can buy in the supermarkets in those little tubs.
Yeah.
But you can do that at home also. You just take it out of the tub, break it up, and give it a bit more soil, and you'll get more basil from it than you will.
right. So are you guys actually growing in soil, or is it a different substrate?
Tiny bit of soil and then clay balls.
Clay balls, right?
So, some of these. That's all they need, because they're getting the nutrients from the water that's feeding them.
Yeah.
So here's some of the horsetail I showed you outside.
All right, you can grow that indoors as well.
Yeah, and the same with the mugwort, bifid. Because this is indoors and we're cutting it, it's much greener. It's because it's not having the same
it
effects.
looks a lot healthier than what we found earlier by the roadside, I must say.
It's not having, because it's autumn outside, and here we're in a greenhouse with a perfect watering system, so these are much healthier. So yeah, we've got different types of mint. Actually, we've got 5 types of mint here, but I can't really show you because, like I said, I've just cut them all to make a nice syrup, which we do here.
All right. Well, we can get back to that on a later episode, maybe.
Yeah. There's one more fun one over here, which you can grow outside in the summer, and then you need to bring inside during the winter. This is Verveine. Verveine. It's a bit popular, so it's been a bit cut lately. We've got more growing around, so we're starting to use those now. But it's a very easy plant you can also pick up from your garden centres.
You can actually pick it up from garden centres and just keep growing it. All right, excellent.
Yeah. So these are the plants that we're growing here at the Cass Canteen and using in fresh teas.
Excellent.
So thank you.
Absolutely brilliant.
Contact me at shantyamsterdam@gmail.com.
shantyamsterdam@gmail.com if anybody wants a special order of personalised tea.
Yes.
Made with a smile and green fingers.
And lots of
Excellent.
love.
And lots of love. Good. Warm love for warm tea. For another tea time.
Yeah.
Great. That was it for Rocknrollsailor. Enjoy. See you next time.
Thank you guys.